in education, and we managed to make him come to Augsburg to our conference tomorrow. And we have the unique pleasure to have him all for ourselves for 52 more minutes. Yeah, we stop at 4 o'clock. He has to go to the hotel to get ready for tomorrow's show, right? And we will start it like that Yaacov gets an idea. That Yaacov gets an idea what we have been up to this morning, and we did a graffiti workshop, and you can tell him what you did and what you thought you were doing. Okay? Thank you.
Yeah. We made a graffiti this morning, and it was about our school and some things that are typical for our school right now, and a school in the future that might be like the ideal school.
We used a tablet or iPad to represent that idea, and we made all the apps represent a certain thing that would be helpful in the future school. The rest of the icons that we made at the graffiti poster were mainly focused on the equality of our school. That's why we made the gay flag the background, and the way that people get to school, so for example the bike, or yeah, that was it.
Alright, super good. Okay, so we got an idea. This is a graffiti tomorrow when it's dry, and it will be there. You might see it in our conference room tomorrow in the town hall. Okie dokie, thank you much. Okay, who's next? Competition starts, competition is going strong. España. Super good.
Venga Raquel.
¿Salgo contigo?
All right.
We represent our school, the activities that we love. We do on our school, extra activities, and some like guitar, like theater, play chess. We go hiking or something like that, and we represent this with the main themes of these activities.
We mainly focused on the extra-scholar activities, but we also did some things that are iconic in our school, like the sun clock, or the kind of tables that we have to play chess. Yes.
The tables are in the playground, and we eat the lunch here, on this table.
So that's it.
That's it. Okay, we watch it tomorrow. Thank you much.
Calor. Sí, hombre. Ya mira tú.
So for our graffiti, we did what represents our school and about the location and what we do inside the school. So what we represented for the location was we put stuff like St Michael's Mount, which is a mount with a castle on it, which is located really close to our school in Penzance.
That's what we're actually called Mount Spain School, and our logo is the mount.
And also on the graffiti we have represented some of the departments in our academy. So we've got quite a good music department, so we've added some music symbols, we've got drama, so we did the two masks, the sad one and the happy one. We also are famous for our sport, so we did put a football on there as well, which is quite good.
Very good.
But it was alright. So yeah, was quite fun. I found it fun. Did you find it fun, Joe?
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, so, yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
it.
Thank you. Okay, that's the last one, representing this school here.
So, yeah, as you know, I represent this school, and I was in a group of 5 people, and we had to draw, to spray some things about our school, and we concentrated on the things we find are the most important things to focus on, like motivation and inspiration and health, and I guess, and we all think, if you have these 3 things, you can achieve all the others, and this was the thing.
Inspiration,
Motivation and health.
motivation, and health. Okay.
These were the things we focused on, and we tried to spray them like we could, and yeah, you will see it tomorrow.
Okay, okay, Yaacov. It's your show. Okay, I lay back now.
So I need to understand,
Yeah.
you are a group of 5 schools
Right? Exactly.
from
Spain,
England,
England,
Netherlands.
Netherlands,
And
German.
two Augsburg schools. Yeah.
Wow. I thought what I will talk with you, so I will talk with you very shortly, and then we will make a
Yeah.
discussion, okay? And let's put the PowerPoint inside.
Yeah.
My story began when I decided to left school. I left school before I was 16. And I left school because I doesn't understand why to go to school. It was clear to me that it's irrelevant to my life. And when I left school, I doesn't know to read and write. So it's very important to know that you will know I am dyslexic, dysgraphic, but in a very difficult situation. So you can feel it also in my language, because I talk English, but it was a lot of mistake, and it's very difficult to me to talk languages at all. So dyslexic have problem in language. So if I was talking now in Hebrew, the Hebrew people here see that my Hebrew is not the correct Hebrew. So when I left school, I left because, one, I understand that no adults in the school see me. All the people, the adults people, the teacher inside the school was focusing to teach me read and write. And they doesn't see other very unique things that I have. And I was very good in a lot of things, but my weak area is read and write. So what I remember from school all the time, teacher sit with me and say to me, Yaacov, it's only 4 words. In Hebrew, you don't know your name, how it's written? No, I doesn't know. But in the same time, I was the Israeli champion of checkmate. I was the champion of Israel of running 100 meters.
What was your time? How far?
I was 11.1.
Wow, that's really good. Okay, hey.
And but it's before I grow up this area. And also I was jumping to far very good. I was one of the leader in the scouts in my city. I do everything that I do outside school. I was wonderful. Inside school, it was catastrophe. So this is what I understand. No one see me. The second thing that I decided to left school is that I understand that what they teach us, it's not important. How I understand it. I saw that the teacher of English doesn't know mathematics. It was clear that she doesn't know mathematics. And the teacher of mathematics doesn't know English. and 2 of them become a teacher, central teacher in our school. So it was, and my parents doesn't know all these details that they try to teach me, and my friend of my parents doesn't know. So why they try to teach me this? I doesn't know, understand. And another thing that it was clear to me that when I look outside school, I see what we need. And I see that inside school we don't deal with this needed. So outside school, it was clear to me when I was kids that outside school no one tell me what to do. And it's a big question there, what I'm doing with my life. And inside school no one asks me, all the time give me orders, do this, do this, do this, do this. So I understand that this is not prepare me to life. And I think exists another reason, but I forgot. But this is the reason that I decided to left school. And when I decided to left school, after I left school, I decided to build a school that it's a school to children like me. It's taken me time to understand that all of us is like me. It means that all of you have an area that you are very good, very, very good. All of you have an area that you are mediocres. And all of us have an area that we are very weak. I told you what my area of weak. You need to understand. It's very difficult to me to read and write. But my book is become bestseller in New York. I like to write. It's difficult to me. One of the things that I'm doing good is write. But to me to write, it's totally different than to you to write. Or to read, it's very difficult to me. But I have something that you don't, most of the people doesn't have. Everything that I read in my life, I remember. Everything, including things that I read when I was very young. So, but I don't, it's difficult to read to me. So I think it was clear to me when I was 16 that every one of us is different. And it's beautiful that we are different. And why they try to make me to be like all the other? And I thought to build a school that the major things will be there, that different is beautiful. And not try to put the same children in the same age, in the same room, and give them the same curriculum, and one teacher teach all of them, and hope that they will be the same. And if you are the same, you get an upgrade, and if you are not like what we expect for you, you have a low grade. So I built this school, and I will tell you how it's looking, this school. I call it democratic school because I thought outside school I live a life that I want that also my kids will live when they are young. So we have in our school children from 4-year-old until 18. We have in our school 650 students. And we live in a mixed ages groups. We don't live in most of the schools in the world live by age groups. I don't know why. I can tell you all my life I look for one research that explain it. It's not exist. It's traditional. We do it. And we do it only in school. After school, when you go, you live a mixed ages life. When you will finish school, you will live mixed ages life. Only in school. So in our school, it's mixed ages life. And in our school, every student choose his learning plan. Everyone choose what he want to learn, and do it by choose one of the teacher in the school as his mentor, and they have a meeting between his parents, the mentor and him, and they build together his learning plan. But if we don't agree, who make the decision is the student. But most of the time we try to make agreement between the mentor, the children, and the parents. And then all the school, the decision in the school, it's running by democratic process that give power to the teacher and the student, and also to the parents. But I think in most of the school in the world, the teacher doesn't have power to decide what happened inside the school. Someone tell them what to do. It's, in some countries it's expectors, some people it's the politician, but the major how the school is running decide outside school. And I say, oh no, the teacher is very important. And then the student is very important. So in our school we have every week a meeting, we call it a parliament meeting. And all the decision inside the school we make by a vote. So I was like a principal of the school, and I have a child in 4-year-old, we have the same vote. And we vote about everything inside the school. But the vote is the beginning, and then we need to build a community that want and try to make the vote as reality. So the community also, it's student, teacher, and parents together. And okay, so I say we build the learning plan. If someone break the law in the traditional schools, I don't know what happened in your schools. In traditional school, is the adults punish the young people. We don't have it in our school. In our school, we have a mediation committee and judicial committee. And if someone thinks that other people make something bad to him, we go to the mediation committee or to the judicial committee. So this is the school. So we do everything together. If you can imagine a trip, we make the trip together. If you imagine how we clean the school, we clean the school together. How we want to make project, everyone can decide that he want to run a project, and we run this project together. A lot of people ask me if it's like the kingdom of the children or of the youth. No, it's not place that children do what they want to do. Only children. It's a mixed ages. It's a group of teachers that will give them a lot of power, much more power than in a traditional school, and a group of a student. And the idea is to make a dialogue between the teacher and the student, but give them a lot of power to change the school. So we were experimental school in Israel for 5 years, and the government make around us research. And after 5 years, they say that this is a good model, and they give us option to push this idea all over Israel. And today we have 30 schools like this. And then we begin also to make an international network, and today we have 2,000 schools all over the world in 60 countries. And the idea is how to make school different, how to make school relevant. What we believe that the traditional school is something like the museum of the past, and it's not connected to what the reality today. We also that's I done for 10 years, from 87 to 97. And from 97 to today, 20 years, we work in traditional school and try to change them. And we found that the best way to change school is not to also from top down, to go to classes, to find a teacher that want to change his class. and we build a new kind of class. And we call it classroom 2.0. And in this classroom, we have only two simple rules. And today we do it with thousands classrooms all over the world. And the two, because we go to traditional schools, so they don't have the power of democratic schools that can do everything different. So we come to traditional classroom and say, let's make only two small change. One, every student is a teacher. Okay? We don't have teacher teach student. We have everyone teach everyone. But I don't say that the good student will teach the bad student. Every student is a teacher. And also we say every teacher is a student. So the role of the teacher becomes very, very central because he needs to find and help every student to be a teacher. And I don't know if you know, the best way to learn something is to teach it. So we make a lot of peer learning. This is one. The second thing that we are doing, we call it a common goal. A common goal is I will give you it by a very, very simple way. Let's think that this class that I talk is a mathematics class, okay? But it can be also different. But in mathematics class, traditional mathematics class, everyone learn by himself. From time to time, we learn together, and then we make exams, and I want to be the best in my class. This is the goal, to be better than the other. In the common goal, we say that the classroom have a grade, one grade. So everyone have a grades, but the average of everyone become the grades of the classroom. And then we see that this, for example, we make a test and we have now 7.3. And then we sit together and think together how we can make it better. Maybe I will teach you, you will teach me, and we begin to, and we call it training and game. Training and game. Training is when everyone teach everyone. Game is a test, but everyone see the average of everyone. So we build a teams of classrooms. They become like small democratic classrooms. And today we do with this a lot of things in different classes in Israel and in the world. And I will finish what I am thinking today about democratic education. In the beginning, as I say to you, I done it because I feel bad in traditional school. And it was to me also clear that this school, the traditional school, is not preparing me to the real life outside. And then I thought that I will have children, and I read a lot about dyslexic, and I say that this is genetic, so I say also they will have problem. So I decided to marry someone, the women that know to read and write, and that was the focusing, to find someone that know to read and write. And but today I have 4 boys, and all of them like me. So this was my power to take me to build a new kind of school. But today I think totally a new insights. Today I understand that the democratic culture at all, the democratic countries at all, make mistakes. A big mistake. See, most of the countries in the world call themselves democratic countries. And they adapt the education system from the same education system that prepare the undemocratic countries. So people that call themselves democratic countries, they say, we will fight about the rights of the woman, we will fight the rights of the minorities, we will fight about the rights of animals. But kids, it's the same. It can be exactly like the school looked like 100 years ago. Yeah. And we think the idea of to change the education and make it much more democratic is like the missing piece of the puzzle, the big puzzle that called democracy. And that's what we try to do in what we are doing. And if you have question, I will glad to answer you. And you're welcome with question.
That was very good. Well, I was thinking that I'm going to take advantage of the fact that I have here my pupils in history of Spain, because I've tried to tell them in the classroom, and they stand witness for it, that I feel that there's some sort of tyranny from curriculums. I mean, what they have to learn. What you were saying, you know, it would be great to be able to build with them what they want to learn.
Yeah.
And then together, me teaching and learning, and then teaching and learning, we could build something different. But the thing is, they have to go to they want to go to college. They don't have, you might think that it was not an advantage for you that you couldn't read and write, but it turned out to be an advantage. For example, some of them have very good, they write very well, but they don't understand the text. And they always hold opinions which are not theirs. So sometimes I really get, I know they don't like it when I say it, because all they want, and you should participate and tell Yaacov what the thing was about. They feel very stressed when I question what we are doing, and I question the way they do things, and I question myself too. But the thing is, if I do this, I'm in for real suffering, because, for example, their parents are going to think that I disappointed kids. So I think what you said was really great, and this gives me a lot of encouragement to continue questioning what I do and trying to make them question what they do and what they want. Because, I completely agree with you when you say that we cannot be fighting for the rights of animals, for the rights of minorities, for the rights of women, with an educational system that goes back 200 years ago. I also had a lot of problems in school. I had the danger of being an outcast. I was sort of saved from that because my dad became my teacher. He was extremely hard with me. I lost him completely our relationship became very, very strained. And I sometimes think, did he do what he had to do? Was that a good thing to do? Wouldn't I have been happier and more complete now if I had the chance to build my own learning? I don't know. I'd like them to comment on this, because if you remember, we've had this really, there are some in the classroom who actually hated when I say what we're doing is not the right thing. It is not right to spend 4 hours a week teaching history of Spain to prepare by repetition an exam that a chimpanzee would pass.
I will say it's much more ugly. Okay?
It's also easy for them.
You don't teach them the history of Spain. You teach them the way that other people want that they will see the history of Spain.
Exactly.
And to learn the histories of Spain is totally different things. It's to see it from different point of view. And if someone interested in history of Israel, Spain, German, it cannot be in a closed curriculum.
That's what I would do.
It's need to be to see from a totally open curriculum. And today the curriculum is double himself every half year. I don't know if you know, the knowledge is double himself every half year. And the research and the knowledge is going so fast. So how it's so important to learn this small box of knowledge, and especially I'm sure that every new Minister of Education that can change the knowledge a little bit, that it will fit his ideologic. So from my point of view, to learn the history of Spain, of German, of England and Israel, it's wonderful. But from from passion, from really to understand it, and not to exist in the test that someone organized it, that you will think that this is the history of Spain.
But it's difficult for them because their behavior is, as a student, we follow the rules, and the teacher said it, so I have to do that. So it was always like that. And a student who is polite, etc., and do what the teacher does, they don't complain.
When you say they,
and now he was talking about my pupils are here and now they are saying nothing, and is that because they say how it is, it's now okay, or are they perhaps?
No, I think my teacher is right. I think he always complains about the education system and everything, but it's like he said, if we don't change the education from the top, from in a democratic country,
yes,
us as a class, I don't think that we can do much. But because if he teaches us in the way that he wants, then we are going to go to a test that is programmed by the by this country.
Sufficiently.
So
yes, okay.
If he teaches something different, then we are going to do what everyone else does.
Okay. Because it was only that you were so silent, you didn't respond, so that I assumed that.
And tell me something about Spain, especially it's good because I'm Spanish people and I go to the college. What happened after the college?
After the college,
how many people will walk in the work that they are studying?
There are not many options. I mean, it is all designed. In fact, if you want to become a teacher of history, in secondary, you have to repeat the same kind of exam. I mean, it is like, the Mandarin kind of exam. They give you a list of fixed things, which sometimes, I normally ask them all the time, are you really interested in this from 0 to 10? And they normally tell me, well, 3, 4, some of them say 8 or 7, I don't know, but I want to know, really. The thing is, if I try to do it that way, the other day, remember Daniel said,